I've got some amazing news for all of you guys. The points totals for our overall rank, guys, they're all really close. And Chris has someone that we all really want in our side, but it's not going to help him this week. And that is our great man, Nicho Hynes. Had him as captain, got the 69. Doesn't have Nathan Cleary. So very, very interesting week coming up, considering I think we can all catch up to Chris a little bit and our overall leader. And that's what we're looking for here. Majority of these teams, especially if you're in the top 1,000 or so, you're actually not that far away from first. So get really excited by that. You know, we're 7,371 and we're still only 370 points away. At this point last year, if you were ranked 7,300, the top 10 were clearly out in the lead by about 500 to 600 points. And it just really looked difficult to catch up at all. When you're looking at Chris's team value and the squad value there, 12.3 million. We're obviously sitting not too great at 11.7, but we're also coming over 7,000. So I know my team, I'll explain a little bit later, but I'm in about 11, 8.5s, 11 9s, which is, you know, not too far away. The rest of the guys here in second, third, and fourth, almost 12 million, almost 12.2, and then 12.1. So majority of people are sitting around that 12 to 12.1 in this top 50, top 100, which is great news for all of us chasing. They're really not far away. And considering it's been 5 rounds so far and there's 27 overall, we're not even, you know, a quarter way through the season, which is amazing. We're not even a fifth away through the season, which is great news for all of us there, that we can clearly try and catch up to this top group, which is awesome. So you look at Chris's side there, and there's a few guys that are underperforming, and this might be a little bit of a worry for his team, is the fact that the Dolphins will probably struggle a little bit with their, you know, Sean O'Sullivan out, with Anthony Milford out now. Still Felice Kafusi there. You'd imagine Gilbert plays a little bit better than what he did with the 35. Hammer, I can't see scoring amazingly well over the next few weeks. Not having Hines in this one, I can see a little bit of a fall from grace, because, you know, a lot of these outside backs really helped him out too. Hayes Perham got 47, Sloaney 52. Walshy had a good one there as well. And you're looking at the emergencies here. How's he going to be able to cover Nicho Hynes? That's going to be the question there. Does Isaiah Katoa come in? Does he make a big splash and trade out one of his mid-rangers and, you know, downgrade, upgrade, and get another cheapie, and then potentially go up to a gun in the halves position? There's lots of question marks to be answered, and, you know, they still had a great score this week at 1,050. It's very hard to not have a great score when your team value and squad value is so high, but that is that there. The lesser amount of good news is the fact that all of these guys from 2 all the way to 15, I had a look, none of them own Nicho Hynes. So shows that you didn't need him over the last few weeks to do really well. It obviously helped out Chris in that one, but the rest of the guys, they're all fairly close there. 11 points behind, 2 behind that, 6 behind him, and then 14, 9 there, and going down the line. So yeah, they're all fairly close, which is good. And hopefully none of these top 20, top 50 go absolutely bonkers and get 1,100 or something next week. And we can look to continue to catch up to these guys. And then really this week and then round 7, they're going to be those 2 really big push weeks, I'd say, before the buys, obviously in 13. That's when a lot of the big moves are going to come. But the next 2, for those that don't have Nicho Hynes, can really make good trades here. And then it's what you do in round 7. Do you fade Nicho Hynes and go for, you know, potentially someone that I'm looking at in Sammy Walker and spending that money elsewhere, whether you need to improve your wing fullbacks, whether you need to get a really gun hooker if you're sitting there with Reid Marnie, whether you need to get some of the top guys in the mids. As I said, you know, the halves position is a big one there, centers, shoring up them. Do you spend that extra money and go there? Or do you save up that cash and go for Hynes and then hope, you know, captain him weekly and hope that he can get that random 100 every sort of 4 to 5 weeks? That's a big thing to think about over the next few weeks. But let's get in and speak about the lovely People Squad and the Community Cup. We're coming 3rd now, which is awesome. So let's check out our matchup there and the ladder for the Community Cup. So 1,030 for us, which was nice in this one. Very, very happy with that overall. Now let's look at the ladder there. And obviously, yeah, ranked 3rd there, which is good. We're coming off, you know, 3 wins on the trot. So lost in round 2 when we had an absolute shocker, and shows that, you know, we're in a solid position overall. The Fantasy Lounge community are doing a good job. So let's look at the overall points ladder, which is going to be most important at this stage. So you're looking at, you know, Fantasy Lounge guys coming 565, which is a position that we're very used to in that top 1,000, that's for sure, top 100 for the most part. A lot of the other teams there, pretty poor under us, to be honest. They're 16,000. for the Gurus, 17 for Late Malcrew, 20 for Footy Brains, and then the Talking League Boys. I'm pretty sure they've given up. Let's have a look at their team. Very sad. 859. Yeah, not good. Got Dewey. Yeah. Well, it looks like they might have changed things around a bit, but just, yeah, obviously missing a couple of weeks, not trading there, cooked them. So, sad. Talking League Boys, sort it out. But yeah, big efforts for the Fantasy Lounge guys. They're coming 565. They got a bunch of solid players in their squad. Had to play Katoa this week. Obviously, no Hines in there as well. Yeah, pretty solid overall, but yeah, that's that. 565 for them. Hope they can do really well and go from there. But we're, 6 overall out of the community teams, which we're usually the best one out of there, but not this year at the moment. So let's now move just straight back to our team there and go through our squad. So obviously, overall rank has been a big improvement for us over the last couple of weeks. It's something that we clearly struggled with. And let's get into round 5 there. So we used our 2 trades, left ourselves with 0k in the bank. Worked out really well that we did trade out Tohu Harris in this one, because he was one of those guys that was having a big struggle in terms of points the last couple of weeks, 50 odd, 28, and then getting injured and not playing at all. So we needed to make that move, considering we had saved the 1 trade there, and we're needing to catch up, that's for sure. So Carrigan was really the only non-performer for us. Carrigan and Katoa, who is pretty well owned in this one, had to play Warbrick. I'm glad that this week we decided to skip on Shields, bring in Lemuelu. Didn't score amazingly well, but he beat 4. That's for sure there. We held Tanner Boyd in this one at 490k, so I think he's going to be pretty important over the next few weeks, just as a little bit of a moneymaker, but also as a guy we could probably play week to week, because this week we had to loop Katoa there. So took his 32, which worked out well. I'm glad we didn't have Harley Smith Shields in the 5 position. Otherwise, I would have been throwing Murdoch Masila up there into number 4. So that was that. A big win on Murdoch Masila, who I'll speak about in my team in a second. But yeah, trading in Hosking, trading in Lemuelu in this one worked out great. We've got plenty of cover across edge and the mids. Preston has a little injury sticker there, but most likely will be okay. If he continues to play on with that dislocated finger, I think he'll be fine going forward from here, and he won't want to stop playing after how good he's been going. But Reece Walsh in for our squad as well was a big win over the last few weeks, a 54 for him. SJ a few weeks ago was spectacular, and owning Payne Haas and Harry Grant is working out a treat. So overall with this team, the main issues we have now, Harley Smith Shields at 273. We did gain some cash from Katoa and Murdoch Masila. That's a big win. So holding on to Tamari Martin, he's also got a bit of cash to be made. He's someone that can cover it, and we can use him as a bit of a looper over the next couple of weeks, potentially. Who have we got not playing? Oh, we don't have anyone not playing, so no looping apparently, unless Preston's out. We don't have Cartwright in our side, so if Lane comes back, that's not something we have to deal with. We'll work out what's going to happen with Hosking going forward for sure, but really the team is looking much more improved, and I think we can start to continue to build on our scoring from here with a nice 1,030, a good round 5 rank of 2,800, and as I said, the last few weeks have been solid. 1,000 last week, 1,030, and if we keep doing this week to week, we will continue to build on that rank and get in a better spot. So we'll talk about this team a little bit later in the week, just because it's not really clear what we might want to do right now. You'd imagine bounce backs from Carrigan, and we'll work out what team lists throw up at us before we make any potential trades in this one. With 0k in the bank, it's just going to make it difficult, but something we can do. So let's go and check out my team now. And so we move straight to my NRL Fantasy Analysis Community League there. Ryan still 6 up top. Didn't have his best week, but still over 1,000 is great for a 12th overall ranking here. We had Farafoi, who had a cracker week as well, 1,071 with Hohepa. 2 crackers there, 1,062, 1,075, 73 there with David, who is dominating. I think he's sitting around, 74th overall, which is cool. And Brenton Vickery, who does comment, especially on my Facebook posts there. Matty T, who is in the private group there. He's having a cracker at 107 overall rank, who will jump into there in a second as well. So we'll give all those guys a shout out, because there's only, 103 of his, which is great, and we are gaining on rankings, that's for sure. So even myself, I'm moving up into a good position there in the private group, which is awesome there. And you'll see here we go. We see here with the private group, Matty T is up top. His team value is a tad lower than a couple other boys there. Ryan's in second. There, Ayobi. We got Sam, Brody, Liam there in sixth spot. Then you got Josh Jr. up there. We got Phil, Will, who came third last year, and myself sitting in 12th spot. So you're looking at some squad values and team values there. My one sitting in a decent spot there. You've got Joshy at 11.975. You've got Brody there at just over 12 mil, 12.08, which is an absolute cracker there. And we have a lot of guys sitting in the top 1,000. So all of the top 10 in this group are in that top 1,000 guys, which is awesome. And then we go from there. So yeah, plenty of good coaches in the private group. We're all kind of doing really well over the last few weeks, that's for sure. And you look at myself and Scoop in this next one, which is the battle of the podcast, and all doing pretty well in here as well, guys. We've got Ryan up top there, who has a 4.499 in his total points, overall rank of 400. Mark's doing really well as well, just behind him. We got Callum, Chris, you've got Nick there, and then myself in at 6. So Lockie just behind me there by 16 points, and I got him by 4 this week. So I think before updates, we were both 1,060, and yeah, we are able to get an extra 6 and an extra 2 for him. Worked out well. But yeah, top scorers in this week, you know, all of us in the top 7 did really well and all got 1,030 or above, which was good. And rest of the guys, yeah, not doing too poorly, only a little bit behind myself there at 4.441 in total points. And you know, there's 4 other guys behind me that are, you know, less than 40 points behind, which is good. Shows that there's a lot of guys doing good things in there. TK down there, not too far back, about 80 to 85 points back there. The Talking League boys, time to step it up. Corby, Riley, I know you guys are definitely the comeback kings, and yeah, we saw that last week, so last year. But that's that there with the battle of the podcast. Let's go through my team. The most important part here of this video, obviously, is what a lot of you guys want to be looking at. And round 5, we had an absolute cracker, ranked 563 for round 5 as well. Last week we're 113th, this week 563. So really making a good dash at improving week in, week out. 1,065 last week, 1,066. Puts us in a nice overall rank of 1,286. So from 35,000 to 24 to 4.2 to 1.28 is very exciting news for our squad. And the way we looped this week worked out perfectly. We couldn't have done it any better. We had all our best scorers playing. We had Katoa tied with Murdoch Masilla. Crazy. And we get a little bit of cash from him. So up 18k for Ben Murdoch Masilla. We've made 20 for the year now. Ben Murdoch Masilla, 20k free cash because we started with him. Happy days. Much rather Ben Murdoch Masilla than Tyrell Sloan. He sucks, Sloan. He's only made 170k. Ugh. Anywho, Sully. So the way we did this, guys, is he got his 40, and I was like, yep, cool. I'm playing him over Warbrick, and that only netted us 7 points, but it was still the correct decision. Warbrick could have come out and not done so well, so we popped Talau in the emergencies. The other player I could have chosen was Alamotti or Chester, and I picked the right one with Warbrick's 33, even with that try. So that's the way we played that one. I wanted to loop Ilias as well, so if he came out and absolutely crushed it, I could have moved Talau from that position and just popped him in the 4. Which, you know, could have taken that over Qatar. But, if you know, if Ilias got the 45 or 50, that's the way I would have played that one. Probably wouldn't have been Qatar. I wonder who it would have been. Good question. Qatar? Leoro? Probably would have been Leoro, to be fair. I definitely, yeah, imagine I left out Preston. So that could have been crazy. But Ilias, his time in our team is done. Thankfully, he got his good score last week when we needed it, the 58 and, you know, the mid-30s the week before. Made a little bit of cash for us. Wasn't the best trade in, to be honest with you, but there wasn't a lot of people in that position. And, you know, Trindle, we would have, if we brought him in, which I was thinking about, I would have got 2 weeks out of him, and then we wouldn't have got a good score last week. So, is what it is with that one. We made a little bit on him. He will be going either this week or next, and there's plenty of candidates, you know, to get up to. I have 97k in the bank, so potentially using him, potentially using Cartwright there. Eli Katoa eventually is going to be one of those guys who look to move on. And the rest of the squad is looking pretty solid. Chester, he's made plenty of cash for us at over 120. He will be one of those guys that's, you know, I'll be looking to slot Suali'i back in. If Warbrick continues to keep his spot, I believe they play the Roosters this week, so we might have to play him, or we do look to get a slightly better wing fullback in, and then potentially use Warbrick as some cover. And we can loop him in. We can loop Suoli'i again this week, considering he plays the first game, I believe, which could be fun. So that's that. But yeah, the team looking in a much better position. I only used the one trade last week, and as I said, gets us to a solid position with 29 trades to go, 97 in the bank, with a few mid-range guys that we're looking to move on. Really only Talau, the one that's that super cheap price that's not making any money. Lemuelu would have hoped for a little bit of a better score, but we'll take that. Guys like Hammer, who we could have brought in a couple of weeks ago, didn't score well this week, got a 28. So we did beat him, and that is good. Sean Johnson's been a godsend, making so much cash. All of these guys at the moment. There's so many, as I said, guys, there's so many guys in here that are mid-range price now. Everyone in that top 6, from interchange 1 to emergency 6, are all over 500k. We have a couple of 400k guys in the centers there. And then you've got the two cheapies, Chester and Talau, in that one. Everyone else is doing a great job. So this is the big importance of getting a really high team value, guys, that you can build your squad around and get a multitude of super good players and continue to build towards great scores. The next question now lays in the fact that what do we do when we're getting closer to Origin? And you look at the players in your squad and go, which one of these guys are going to be playing during that time? And you look at players like Murray, they're definitely going to be in there. You've got Payne Haas, you've got Cleary. Johnson is a great pick because he's not going to be there. Guys like Joey Manu could be someone we look to slot in over the next few weeks. Like he's someone that is fairly expensive, but he's that game breaker type of guy. And with Teddy out, he could be the way to play it. Or we maybe leave it for one more week and then bring Teddy in when he returns or when he's lost a bit of cash. But then again, you're looking at someone that will be missing through Origin as well. And how many of those players do you want on your side? So potentially 3 to 4, I would say, by that time. But remember, you still have 7 rounds until that first Origin. So you can make these decisions now that are going to set you up better for the next 7 rounds. And then you can make trades from there. I wouldn't be looking to make double trades or triple trades. From next week, he gets 3 per week. I wouldn't be looking to make 3 each week because that's going to really kill you come Origin time. So as much as trades are super important, it is also really important to get yourself set up to score really well and also get set up for the Origin period as well. So, all of these guys I'm looking at here, we have a bunch of Storm players. I could potentially move 1 or 2 of them out in round 9, but also remember that they're going to be playing in 13, I believe, as well. So they're all the things that you're looking at with a type of player that, maybe they stop making money very soon, like in the next couple of weeks. And if you can cover him in that round 9, then, are they worth holding until 13 and then moving him in 14 or 15 or whatever, we get closer to their next spy. So they're all the questions you need to ask yourself with your squad. But yeah, overall, very happy with the team, guys. We're back in a good ranking where we should be, and I think we'll continue to build from here. The salary remaining at 97 really now is, do we look to build towards some of those higher guys like Nico Hines at over $1 million? Do we go to like a Sammy Walker who's a little bit cheaper and potentially get Hines another time? That's probably risky. I think Walker can do really well, probably a mid-50s guy, but if Hines is going to be close to a 70s guy, then those extra 15 points that you're leaving on the table, which you can't get from someone else there. If Hines is scoring that well, you can't get that anywhere else, because if he's the top scorer in the game, you're missing out on the top scorer, you're doubling his points every week. It's big stuff. So yeah, big question marks there. But guys, I'm going to be looking at a solid wing fullback, I'd imagine, potentially a center. So Suoli'i, I don't know how much time he has left in my squad. He's just, he's not that absolute workhorse. He's not getting that 15 tackles that we want. He's going to have the errors. He's going to have the penalties. So he's a week-to-week prospect. Lemuelu, he's someone that we need to look at later down the track. But if we can look to move on, the Cartwrights, the Iliases, these types of guys, I'm really happy with how the squad's set up. We got Murdoch Masila making a bit of cash now. If he can generate a couple of 35s, we could get him in the 350s, 400s. That would be great for the squad. But overall, much better place than we were after round 2. I'm much happier. I know the people watching my videos are much happier as well. So yeah, I hope you guys did really well this week, and I wish you all the luck with your trades. And let me know if you're liking how I'm going with these videos with the rankings and, you know, my head-to-head leagues. I did win all mine head-to-head leagues this week. Makes sense getting that such a good score, but that's that one there. Hope you enjoyed it, and good luck with team lists this week. It's going to be a fun one.